Culturally clueless.
It is what it is, guys. We're here with a new episode, and Maria has a problem. Would you like to share your problem, Maria?
What problem?
I don't know.
I don't have problems. What are you talking about? Well, I have problems, but I'm not gonna share my problem.
Okay. Maria does not have a problem. I was playing.
Huh?
Okay, so how is everyone?
I'm good. I'm still alive, in one piece, and I'm ready.
Why? Were you supposed to be here in two pieces?
No, but I just survived a long weekend, a long and busy weekend. It was Eid, it was rainy, stormy, windy, and of course with my beloved kids, I had to. JD just kept me busy, and again, I survived all of this, right? So you can imagine what I'm made of.
Congratulations! This is an achievement.
Congratulations for surviving
An
for 2 days.
4 days, okay? He's talking about 4 days.
4 days. 4 days, yes.
So, how is Eid in Australia?
Well, you can barely notice it, of course, unless you've got some good community around you. And so yeah, well, in order to survive those 4 days and feel that that Eid does exist, I had to be a member of not one community, like two communities, so that I can at least get myself busy and enjoy or feel that there's Eid. Because like in the city itself, you don't really feel anything, but so you have to be creative with the activities and with the gatherings and all of this stuff. So yeah, it's good. Let's say I'm used to it. I'm used to this.
Yeah, okay, Maria, it's pointless if I ask you. So
why is pointless?
Oh, bro, you have no Eid, no nothing.
What?
You don't celebrate. Oh my gosh.
Celebrate. You don't celebrate Eid. That's a new term. I like that. Yes.
But you don't have to say it's pointless, like that rude.
Oh my God. Now it's rude?
Oh, wait.
So yeah. I honestly, I'm really gonna stop at what you said.
But no one, like people in the comments, and thank you everybody in the comments for pointing it out.
What?
Do you read the comments? Thank you for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. My therapist said I'm gonna handle it pretty well.
Wait. I'm still stuck with I can't even speak, so I'm not even gonna try anymore.
So without further ado, let's jump to my question.
No, wait, I think Ray wanted to say something.
No, I really love the term. I always have something to say, Maria.
Yes, exactly.
But, you keep interrupting me, of course.
Oh God, I cannot. Okay, what now?
No, I'm talking about Maria, not you.
Oh.
It's pointless.
No, I was just expressing, my, how amazed I am with the term that you used, Ness. You celebrate celebration. You celebrate.
Why did you have to point it out?
Celebration.
I was trying to gloss over it.
No, I love it. We need to use it more frequently. No. Inshallah, on the next Eid.
Hopefully you forget. This is very cringe.
It's like, mixing the two languages together, which is lovely. I love this.
Oh my God.
I love this globalized language.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I
Maria.
understand what's happening. So I'm gonna jump into my question so we can
Uh-huh.
move forward. We have a lot to talk about. We
Hmm.
had 12 points today.
Let's see if we're gonna
Okay,
do
guys.
them
So
all.
my question for you, as long we do the elephant now, should be fine.
That's mine. That's my friend.
I found it.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
found it
anyway.
10 years ago.
So, what? Pointless 10 years ago,
I
right?
don't care.
Let
It's
me get
mine.
let me get my popcorn. One second, guys. Let me get my popcorn.
No, Maria needs to understand my boundaries.
My background?
My boundaries.
I found it this year. You found it 10
Yeah,
years
I know this.
ago.
Yeah, so I have rights.
To the elephant?
Yes.
Pretty sure that that's not the
I
case.
think
Oh my gosh.
it's just getting too personal now, and this is something that shouldn't really be discussed in public.
What's getting personal? The elephant? It is personal.
Well,
Look what she's
yeah.
doing. She just claimed it.
I claim it because I found it.
But I
This
found
year.
it 10 years ago.
But 10 years is pointless.
No, I always talked about it to everyone. Not to you, maybe, but to everyone.
So
But
I'm
okay.
psychic now?
Huh?
Okay, anyways, let's jump on my question.
I'm scared again.
Okay. The question for it's very simple actually.
Okay.
So for you guys and especially the viewers, my question is when you are in a relationship, right? And then you have your own friends. Did you claim the other person's friends? Did their friends become your friends?
Oh wow.
Do you share friends? And then when you break up, who keeps the friends?
So we have a
Okay, I love the last part.
we have a relationship and we already broke up. Okay.
Yeah, well, that was fast.
What do you mean? Everybody
Okay,
Oh,
has
it's
their
a
own
different
friends?
scenarios. Like, yeah. Like your friends become
we
their
just
friends.
Ah.
I'm not sharing my friends. My friends are my friends.
But wait, but you took
wait. No, go ahead, Ness. Go ahead.
No, she
Let me
took
keep thinking
friends.
about it for a second.
You
Yeah.
need to think about it again.
No, they choose me. That is different.
Now, what do you mean? Well, first of all, I mean, it depends on like, why would I? So you want me to be like friends with like 50 guys?
50 guys?
Well, if you are with someone, then obviously the most of their friends will be the same gender, right? Why would I want to go and be like their friend? I don't
You have
understand.
you know someone with 50 friends?
Yeah. You don't?
That's a lot. No?
Okay.
Maximum 3. But anyway, so you are stay away from that side of friends, right? And you keep your friends or you share friends.
Well, this question has like so many parts,
Layers, yeah.
right?
Is it
Because
couple
Elaborate.
friends?
to start with, no, because no,
You
like
friends.
look, for example, you're talking about no, 1 second. You're talking about you said that if you're in a relationship, you're a couple, and you've got your friends, and the partner has got some friends, and now like you're friends with the friends of the partner. So that's one part, right? But like the other thing is like, what if you guys like the couple themselves made the friends at the same time, like met someone while they are a couple, and that someone or that group of people become just a friend for the couple themselves, right? And again, when the other part was when you guys break up, or when a couple would break up, right? Do you keep the friends? Okay, it depends on when did you get those friends? You know what I mean? Like they were your friends before the relationship, of course, and they became the friends of the partner later on. Or like like this, it's I'm sorry, we can create a whole episode about this one, but like that's why I said this.
No, but
you can go ahead.
no, but that's true. That's true. We can create all. But I don't know anyone who sits down and says, "Oh yeah, we need to debate. We need to discuss who's gonna keep which friends."
Really?
No, in fact, it's like it's good. It's a good thing, you know. Like when you know you go into the
It's like a custody
it's like
battle.
the custody. Exactly, it's the custody of friends.
It's a
Okay,
custody battle.
so did
You
you
never
ever
have a
do
custody
this?
battle with friends?
Never, because the friends have a say as
Oh.
well. So what if you choose like particular friends, but they want to be his friends?
What do you mean? That's where the loyalty
Well,
comes along here.
maybe he's an awesome person, you know. Like, and those friends don't wanna, you know, stop being friends with that guy. So, you know, so they
would
stay friends with
no.
him.
The more I think about it, I would never argue over friends. I would never argue about people anyway. Like if you want
Oh
to
my
be
God,
my
really?
friend, why would I argue about people? If you want
Well,
to be my friend,
I'm very possessive, so I will
but
argue
if
about that.
those people
It's
want
my
to be
friends.
in your life, surely they will be in your life, but you cannot force someone to be in your life.
No, but they're still your friends. But will you share those friends, or they are your friends?
Oh my God, I don't know.
You
Well,
never been
again,
in a
you know what?
situation?
If those friends are, you know, like close and good friends to both, so even after the breakup, well, we can keep those friends, I suppose, because they're good. Unless those friends are, you know, trying to cause, like, they would show you that they are good friends to you, but they are actually causing you trouble, basically, with your ex. Of course, when we're talking about after a breakup. But if they are good friends, why not, right? It's not like, hey, look, I've broken up with this guy, and you know you are not allowed to talk to him anymore. Like, it doesn't really work this way. You know, they're grown-ups and they can make their own decisions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But at the same time, you put friends also in a bad situation because there is a lot of, oh, did this person say something about me? Blah 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 blah. You know, people are.
Exactly. So see, so it cannot be intertwined because it's gonna be that level of being uncomfortable. Because
But it
it's
could be the
so
other way
if it's your
around,
friend
right?
and you hear something about you, would that friend should be obligated to tell you because it's your friend?
But
Where
it
is
could
the
be the other way
loyalty in
around
her
as well.
life? Hmm?
Okay, well, in fact, in this case, let's go through the relationship that you're having with that partner or with that ex, okay? Like, is the breakup final and no coming back? Do you still have, you know, like there's a chance that you guys are going to get back to each other? So in this case, the reason I'm asking this is that in this case, the friends could be the ones who would pretty much bring you back together. Of course, if the couple would like to.
Or make it
Right?
worse?
Yeah, you know, you mentioned the worst part, right?
Mhm.
I'm trying to mention, you know, the other positive part, right? So
I
who
think
knows?
I don't know. This is I don't know. I don't know. I don't like to force people or like oh you're my friend and you cannot talk to this person or you have to make a decision like give people ultimatums. I don't really I just want you're gonna see the friend's behavior. If they care about you, they will care about you by showing that. If not, then
Mm-mm. You better choose me, Ness. In any case.
I never choose anyone. That's the thing.
Okay, that was a quick question,
And
so
then
we can.
you know why?
Uh,
Because in life, I don't think people should be an option. I think you should be a choice and not an option. So
is an option the same or choice?
no, an option is you have option A, B, C, and D, and if option A don't work, you might be B or C or D. It's just an option, someone to choose from. A choice is somebody deliberately and explicitly chose you.
Yeah, you're not allowed to choose anybody else. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. We
Let's
have
go to the other
I'll
one.
just
Valeria's.
sit back and
Yeah.
Hmm?
no, I'll just watch. Yeah, keep talking about it, guys, if you like. I'll just
No,
watch this.
no.
No,
What do you
she
mean
had.
you just watched this?
No, because you know Maria made the decision, like, you know, you have to choose me, and that's it, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but that's for Ness. Yes.
You see, I don't even get a choice. Like,
she doesn't get a choice.
I think I need to try this. Anyway, go ahead.
Try what?
Well, try this thing about, like having, like a common or some friends as a couple, and then, break up or something, we can, I'm thinking about, because basically, I don't want to go so personal, but like I've seen that, yeah, some couples, like some divorce happened or something, and the friends remained friends with both.
Yeah.
And those friends weren't really troublemakers. And no one gave the the option like, you either, just like Maria did now. You choose.
Well, I think this is the most mature way. If we can be like friends, and the rest time will tell. Only time can tell.
Look, I've seen friends who actually got into an ongoing marriage, an ongoing relationship, right? And they managed to destroy it for the couple while they were like, it's not like.
This happens a lot.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, this happens a lot. That's why I always say stay out. That's why, like, don't help, don't do nothing, stay out of it. It's the best
Don't
thing
breathe, no move.
But Maria is a friend stealer.
Friend stealer.
Yes.
Excuse me. I didn't steal anything. I was chosen. I'm the chosen one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I've got some ideas, but I'm not going to discuss them.
Yeah, that's for after.
Yes.
So we have a Valeria Marquez update, and I know Maria is very excited about this update.
Well, this one is a development. There was show between podcasts and TikTokers and plus the police.
And the witness.
And yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Like, everybody start talking about it again because everything before everything looked like I was a delivery guy. They come to the salon and shoot her, and everybody thought that was the story until a witness shows up. They saw the whole thing, and this witness say that the delivery guy just got into the office, to the salon, delivered the package, and left running because the woman that was there was Veronica was the name, friends with Valeria.
Vivian
was the one. Vivian, that was the one that shoot Valeria, her friend, and that actually matched with the moment when she picked the phone, right?
There's been a major update in the case of Valeria Marquez as a witness has come forward, and what they said changes everything. Valeria, of course, is the Mexican beauty influencer who was unalived on TikTok Live, and everyone thinks that her friend, a worker, and her ex all worked together to set this up. Since then, a witness has come forward in an interview. She's a lady. She said she was purchasing something, I believe, for her car, and on the way back, she sees the name of a salon and says, oh, this is Valeria's salon. So she begins looking at the hours that are posted on the window, and at this point the interviewer says, make sure everything you tell me is accurate and in full detail because you're a witness. And she says, yes, I'll tell you everything. She said as she's looking at the hours, a delivery driver walks in, says, are you Valeria? Valeria says yes, and at this point not the delivery driver but Erica reaches into her apron or her bag and pulls out and hits Valeria 3 times. He then said the delivery driver ran from the scene and said he was running so fast that he almost tripped and fell, and Erica chased him outside and said, hey, come back, give me my gift, but he kept running. She then saw Erica go back inside, and a few minutes later heard a 4th shot and said it was loud. Now this does match up with some sources saying there was a biopsy done on her body where they found 4 GSWs as well as other substances in her body that they're saying was ingested from the Starbucks drink that was given to her. This also matches up with the fact that the shots came from the side during the live and the fact that Erica lawyered up so quickly. I mean, they're saying their master plan was to frame the delivery driver, and it would have worked if it wasn't for this witness. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about this. this or if I missed anything, rest in peace to Valeria, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
So basically, the witness confirmed a fourth shot, and that was the fourth shot happened after the delivery guy, the courier guy, left. And the witness, the witness saw everything, and I think Vivian didn't think that anyone was actually watching.
And actually, Vivian went to an interview for a famous Spanish TikToker, and people would listen to what she was saying, very without trusting what she was saying. And in one of her comments say that she thought that the gun noises were part of the effect of the gift that you keep in TikTok. And then everybody in the comment started replying like, how do you hear it if the light was muted? So that's the one lie that everybody knows.
That's the dumbest thing. So somebody gets shot and you see them getting shot, but you're going to say this is a TikTok noise. No.
She said that she was not there. She was not watching. She was not present. So yeah, so the best friend or assistant, AK assistant, is the new suspect in this murder.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Now, one second. So, we spoke about this, when was it, like 3 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago,
yeah. 2 weeks ago, right. So where was that witness? Why did this witness just show up now?
She was outside the beauty salon.
Yeah, okay, she was outside the beauty salon. Like, when the news spread and when it happened.
Oh, when it showed.
Why did this?
So a lot of people, especially when you see something, you don't want to say stuff. A lot of people don't want to get involved. A lot of people don't want to have nothing to do with it. And then they come forward later. This happens actually a lot, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, well, honestly, this social media mess.
Exactly.
So messy, honestly. Like, I know that we're going to talk about something else that happened related to social media and some influencers. But yeah, it's just messy, and it seems like I'm starting to feel worried now. All right, not to show myself so much on social media. I know that I'm not going to be that influencer with like hundreds of thousands of followers, but who knows? I might end up being shot or something. On a live podcast.
But you see, in this case, this is her very personal friend. I think this is what I find so crazy, that, and we just talked about friends, which friends to keep and who's keeping which friends and stuff like that. I think that if you cannot even trust your closest friends, and this happens all the time. I mean, it's the same. Like when we talk about, so like the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, he gets assassination attempts every week, and one of those or some of those attempts were actually done by his cousin, very close cousin, who even lives in the same house with him. And this is
okay. So social media has nothing to do with it. You're telling me social media has nothing.
Well, this happened on social media, and social media obviously also can influence like these kind of behaviors. But I'm saying, like, it's not just social media. Apparently, we have to be careful generally, even like with close friends.
In case of Valeria, wasn't the social media effect, maybe the jealousy that she has because of the success that Valeria was having, but that was a thing of betrayal between friends so far. That's what it looks like, more than social media influencing.
I mean, I want to say that Valeria was successful. I mean, she had her own salon, so I think she was generally successful, and then maybe social media elevated the whole thing. But either way, this is the update, and it's very sad. So if you if you're, that's why they say success makes lonely. And that is very true.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to Colombia.
Yeah, good
they're
news.
doing something amazing.
Yes, Colombia is, I hope that I'm not incorrect, the first country that is gonna say the ambassador for Palestine to Ramallah. So that is a great step. I hope others follow the example. They recognize Palestine, so they're gonna send the first ambassador, Colombia ambassadors for Palestine to the West Bank.
In a significant diplomatic move, Colombia appointed Jorge Ivan Ospina as its first ambassador to the state of Palestine on Monday. In a post on X, Ospina expressed his gratitude to Colombian President Gustavo Petro and Foreign Minister Luis Gilberto Murillo, emphasizing that one of the key challenges of his mission would be condemning the genocide the Palestinian people are suffering today and ensuring their freedom. This historic appointment follows President Petro's MEY 2024 decision to sever diplomatic ties with Israel in protest of what he described as the genocide being carried out in the Gaza Strip.
Yes, I really wonder if this guy is scared. I think Colombia is very dangerous itself, so.
I was about to say it. It's not an improvement per se.
Yeah, well, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. That's what he's gonna think about. Yeah, well, nothing new here. Yeah. So, well, you know what? This is yeah. I'm not really trying to destroy or ruin this, but yes, it's happy news, good news that another country that is acknowledging Palestine and sending an ambassador there. But yeah, well, I'm just looking forward to see, like, because the Palestinian Authority, the PA themselves, right? Yeah, well, I think they are like in a shy way, they are condemning what is going on in Gaza, but they are not really doing much about it. This is my issue here. So I just so the Colombian, yes, we heard the Colombian government statements about condemning what's happening in Gaza. That's for sure. We also, which is I understand for now at least, we also know that Colombia is a two-state solution supporter. But I'm just gonna give it some excuse now, because maybe they are not really aware of they are aware, of course, but like they are trying to be diplomatically neutral, and at the same time, like, not neutral basically, but they're trying to be diplomatically what do you call it, good people. So, but to be honest with you, the Palestinian Authority is my problem.
Yeah.
You know my opinion about them.
Yeah.
That
Nobody
to me
likes
they don't really represent me.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't represent me, at least, and so many other Palestinians. But yeah, I'll just say that it's a good move. It's a good move, at least in terms of the acknowledgement of the existence and acknowledgement of Palestine itself. That's a very good move. I love that.
Yeah, that's why it matters so much, because it's the reinforcement of the Palestine as a country.
Well, I mean, it's a statement. I think it's an international statement, and on the international stage, it's absolutely amazing. Will it do anything for Palestine as is, or for the people? No, not really. It takes more than that. And to be honest, we have a lot of voices that are loud say, who cares about Colombia? Like, Colombia is not even like an important player internationally, but it doesn't really matter, because it has to start somewhere, and if Colombia is the start, so be it.
Yeah, well, you know what, this is the thing here. When someone is saying that Colombia or that's when they say Colombia or that country isn't really a big player,
no,
right? So what made the big players big players, right? It's their colonialism, it's their greed, and it's their evil plans, basically, right?
Yeah.
That's what made them big players,
Yeah.
right? But like if small players all gathered together and at least became on one side, well, that would make them big players at the end of the day, And I don't really see that the big players are going to stay big players. Big players keep changing.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if it takes time, of course.
Definitely. Right? And we're sticking. Yeah.
No, go on.
No, I just only wanted to say that we understand that there is a lot of movement happening with the countries, but like other countries like Malaysia, Senegal, all these countries that people would say, Honduras, that are not big players, but it doesn't really matter, as you said, like everything is shifting right now. So let's see. Okay, we have the Freedom Flotilla.
Oh my gosh, so much going on with them.
But before we continue, I just wanted to point out some people who are actually on there. So most people are from Europe. On there, there's one Brazilian guy, I think his name is Thiago. We have a journalist on there and 11 activists. Greta Thunberg is the most known one. Rima Hassan is on there. She is a French government person. Yeah, and these people, this is not the first Freedom Flotilla, because I see a lot of people thinking that this is the first time it happened. No, it happened prior before, and yes, 9 activists were killed and others were injured. This time, yeah, Maria, what happened this time?
Well, this happened last night, last night. The Freedom Flotilla was getting closer to Gaza, and they were intercepted by 4 ships and an airplane that was flying right on top of them the entire time. So they got scared. They sound the siren, and the plane drove a white chemical over the flotilla first. They got scared. The chemical was so strong, was something white all over the boat. They couldn't breathe. They used the kofia to try to cover the mouth and noise. And then right after that, the ITF boarded illegally the flotilla and took and then they took them to a military base in Israel.
Yes, and they will be deported home and everybody will be happy, but we're gonna sit here and celebrate Greta for her great achievement, being so brave and getting on this damn flotilla.
Hello, I am currently standing on the Madeleine, the ship that on Sunday, June 1st, will attempt to again sail towards Gaza and to try to break the siege and open up a humanitarian corridor by delivering aid like food and medical supplies. The last time we attempted this, about a month ago, the boat Conscience that we were about to board, just a couple of hours before we were planning to board and set sail, it got bombed twice, and all evidence suggests that it was Israel who did it.
Oh my god.
So now we are here in Catania, outside of Sicily, to try to continue our mission to try again. Because currently we are watching a systematic starvation of 2 million people, a live stream genocide, and the world's silence is deadly. That is why we have to keep trying everything we can, even if the odds are against us, to try to protest and do everything we can to stand against Israel's atrocities and war crimes, and to support and stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine. So keep your eyes on deck, continue flooding the streets, organize, boycott, and do everything in your power to stand for Palestine.
Silence and blind. So this what they doing. The flotilla intention is to catch more
We understand that,
more
and that's
people that don't know, people that don't understand.
That's beautiful. But why
And
should I
it's
care about
important.
Greta's life more than I should
It's
care about
not about
Greta's
caring
life?
about Greta's life.
Sorry.
It's about people seeing this and catch another war crime
If people
for
don't
Israel.
see what's going on and what has been going on, especially over the past almost 2 years, I'm sorry. If you still don't see it, I don't know. I don't know if a Greta or any other activists. I'm not diminishing what they're doing. That's great that they're raising attention. I mean, awareness and attention. That's all great. My problem is, like somebody in the comments said it perfectly fine, is that there is a very fine line between marketing and advocacy these days, and I totally agree with that. And this is why I've been always saying these kind of things. I can't sit here and think like, wow, okay, that's amazing.
But to be honestly, is what we need is marketing. Let's use that marketing, because no one is doing anything. No government is doing nothing. No, no people in power is moving one finger, because all of them are bought out, they're sell out, they're corrupted.
And what
So
did the people in
the
power
only
do?
people.
What did the people in power do? One of them, Lindsey Graham.
No, they haven't done anything.
Well, Lindsey Graham said that Greta, hopefully Greta and her friends can swim. Okay.
Exactly.
Another Australian, whatever his name is, government person, called her a jihadi. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he called
the people in power. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. So honestly, I don't know. Like, I think it's great that they're doing this, and it's amazing. Like, I think there are people who are doing also like things that are worth mentioning, that are as big, like the people who are marching from Egypt, the people who are going from Belgium, coming from all across the world. Yeah. They're coming over. I think that's massive too. So why? I don't know. Okay.
We are not only focused on Greta or these 12 members. We are putting all the attention in Gaza, because we need the people to work out. We need marches all over the world, because no one, otherwise, without the pressure that we put, no one is doing nothing. Nothing. We talked about this last week or the week before. They have the representative from different countries shot in West Bank, and no one did nothing. No consequence of this.
But that's the whole
So
point.
it's obviously
and you think
that
Greta going on the ship is gonna change something?
Yeah, because it's working out more people. It's all over the news. Everybody's watching it. So in other words, the responsibility right now is on us, the people. The march in June 12th that is coming up, June 14th or June 12th, June 12th. These are people, normal civilians taking over Egypt to go to the borders. It's no official, it's no government, it's no president, it's nobody. They are civilians doing this. Because sadly, it's just us. We're alone. Nobody's helping. Everybody is shot with a lot of money in the pockets. So at the end of the day, it's us. That's why we do this podcast, right? To keep talking about it, to keep Gaza and the conversations. Because like it has been 80 years, and no one in power is doing nothing. Hello? Did he left?
Right?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
What do you mean? You don't want to say nothing?
Well, Maria is not letting anyone talk anyway. So.
Oh my God! You guys,
no, I can see how emotional you are. No, I can see how emotional you are, and you are trying to advocate and trying to even use your voice very well in order to bring to everyone's attention what's happening, right? And it is a moral dilemma. Honestly, that's how I see it, right? The dilemma is, okay, so now all eyes are on Greta and the Madeleine, or all eyes on Gaza, okay? Now, Right. So there had been a Freedom Flotilla before this one. There had been an attempt before this one, and it was also shut down or stopped, right? And now there is this one with Greta. So the previous one didn't really have, a more public figure. Now we have another public figure, right? Which was basically used. So that public figure of Greta had been used, not used, but she showed up. Let's say she showed up in some other occasions, some other speeches, some other events, right? But the solution is, I agree with Maria's saying, people have to act by themselves. But instead of having one ship only, and that ship is going to undergo all the interception and having white substances thrown at them and drones chasing them, right? It has to be multiple ships. It has to be.
That's what they're trying.
Ships.
They're trying to inspire or motivate other people to do the same, to go and bring what they can and bring more population together.
Okay.
One of the people on the boat saying we wouldn't have to do that if the government actually did what they're supposed to do.
Well,
so they're trying to attract more people.
Obviously, but in 2010 we had the same thing. There were also some public figures, like an author. There was somebody else, a Nobel Peace Prize holder. But you know what? It's the 9 civilians that were shot and killed.
Yeah. So, okay. The thing is, right? We have to have multiple ships. We have to have, or we need to have, or this is how it should work, basically, in my opinion. We need to have also from the land borders, right? You have trucks, you have cars, you have people marching, you have people using their vehicles, maybe, right? And let's see in this case where the focus is going to be, because of course all of those attempts, they are going to be intercepted, they're going to be shut down or stopped in any way possible. That's how I expect it's going to be. But the focus is going to be on who in this case. It's going to be on the people who are on those ships or in those cars or in those trucks, or it's going to be on Gaza itself. Because now I can see, and again, I'm not belittling and I'm not really undermining any effort here, but just like what happened in the previous flotilla a couple of weeks ago, right? We are putting the focus on, the flotilla, they were the people who are on it. But where did we go after that? Where did we go? You know what I mean? Now it's Greta and her group. That's what it is. And again, it's not like I'm saying, no, we shouldn't really consider or worry about them. But yeah, we have to worry about it. That's for sure. They've done a great job. But this the defense minister, Israel Katz, have you seen his tweets on Twitter, on X?
Yeah.
Right? First of all, he said, he had instructed the military to screen videos of the Hamas attacks on Israel from October 7th to the activists upon their arrival to Ashdod port, right? So he's trying to make it, to show his part of the story now, okay? Because Greta is there, maybe, I don't know. Because I think the previous flotilla, they didn't really do that, right? So that's first one thing he said, right? The other thing is the Israel's foreign ministry said the group attempted to stage a media provocation whose sole purpose was to gain publicity. There are ways to deliver aid to Gaza Strip. That's look how it's used now. They are. I know that's it's the stupid way it's a stupid way to counter the action that is happening from our side, right? There are ways to deliver aid to Gaza Strip. They do not involve Instagram selfies. That's the statements of the Israeli foreign ministry.
Oh, they are very well known for gaslighting, but that means nothing because people in Gaza are starving. So obviously there is no way to deliver the aids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing, right? Because we always talk about the flotilla and where you said there's more boats. I want to shout out to my friends. We have last year already, I think it was around, oh my gosh, October, September, maybe. There was a ship, and this is a ship that's called Hamdallah. It went from Germany. It was going to Gaza. And this is a ship that is also like there's multiple people on there from different countries, right? Norway, I think the captain was from Finland, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a lot of people that went on that ship to go to Gaza, and they were stopped. But unfortunately, that ship did not have as much attention and eyes on them because they didn't have like a famous person on there. They did their live streams, they did all of this, but the support was still not a lot for people who had basically the same mission in mind and attempted the same thing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not diminishing what people are doing, and also not Greta. That's very brave and whatnot. But I don't know. Like, to me,
have you sorry, have you guys heard or did you follow on some news that happened, I think sometime January last year, about the 11 ambulance cars that were sent from, and it was a initiative by multiple UK-based businessmen, right? 11 ambulance cars that was sent to Gaza.
Yes.
Those ambulance cars were prepared and well equipped to act as ICUs themselves, units, right?
It was from the UK, right?
Yes, it was from the UK.
Yes.
They were sent through Libya. They crossed the borders, finally managed to cross the borders and make it to Egypt, and to the Egyptian borders. Have you heard, or did you, how many people heard about these ones? We were following on these ones like on a day-by-day or daily basis, and trying to track them and see where they went. And by the way, they made it, not all of them. 9 ambulance cars made it inside Gaza. But do you know what was like, how did they make it, and what was in those cars, and what those cars contain? Do you know any details about this?
I only know that they were equipped to go there. This is like something that the ambulance people do in the UK. This is not the first time they've done this, but they stopped them to go in.
Yeah. They stopped them, and they were put on the border, or like put on hold for, I think they were like 1 week or more than 1 week, right? But eventually 9 out of 11 cars have been entered. 9 out of 11 cars, not out of the 11 cars, the cars themselves. So, all right. So what happened at that time is that, you know, they sent 9 cars from Egypt into Gaza, but those cars were basic, outdated ambulance cars with maybe sirens on and very basic equipment. Okay. And the actual 11 cars that were fully equipped were not really let in. What I'm trying to, and that's after like holding them for like 10 days for processing and paperwork. Even when they were trying to cross from Libya to Egypt, okay, they were held for more than a week, right? And another week inside Egypt until, of course, they were replaced with some just standard basic ambulance cars, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, you know, there are, of course, like you said, Ness, there are so many attempts, okay? But to me, I think when the bigger the group is bigger, the group of who will do the action is bigger, okay? First of all, it's going to cause more trouble to the IDF to intercept, okay? It's going to distract them. It's going to send them everywhere because they are not going to be able to stop all of this, okay? And to me, it will bring more attention and more global attention to it. Okay, so Greta, for example, you know, when we think about it, how did we know Greta? Where did we know Greta from? Where did we hear about her?
She was doing for like sustainability and environment activism.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not really into environmental and climate change and any of this, okay? And I know so many people here who wouldn't really even think about this, right? So did Greta reach like what is the amount of the group that Greta's news reach now? What is the amount of people?
Literally, like the flotilla is in every news outlet now, different for others. Her reach is large
Right now,
because she's a environmental advocate, but she also has speak against Trump, and she's involved in so many things. So her voice, her
I know
name is
her. I know her.
important.
I think the
understand.
reason why she stood
I know who
out
she is.
because she was back then very young, and they made her so look at that little girl, you know.
Yeah.
So
Again, I'm
everybody
not
knows who Greta.
belittling what is happening. I'm not belittling what's happening. But to me, you know what? The news on Gaza, it is on all news outlets.
It doesn't get
It
the
is on all
same.
news outlets. You know, I mean, yes, we're not really, we have so many detainees in Gaza. We have the 50,000 people who are already, at least we know of, that died, you know, and they are on all news outlets.
I'm surprised by you. Surprised, like we know this. Again, this has happened for 80 years. Like this is no like
you're telling me that I was born for this one.
Yeah. So what is important about people like Greta to speak out is because literally people obviously don't care. If the people wouldn't care, if the world
But I'm
would
not
care,
against
this
that,
wouldn't
Maria.
happen.
Nobody is saying Greta shouldn't speak. We're happy that Greta is speaking.
So
what I'm
more
saying,
people like Greta
is
should be use their voices to put pressure and people that can do something to
because
stop
they're gonna
this.
listen to Greta.
They're gonna listen to the pressure of the people, to the followers, to the amount. We as people has power because we are the one that put these bastards on the seats. So we are the one that can take them down as well.
Cute.
That's why
we're not the ones
these
who put them on
loud
the seats, by the way.
voices.
We are not the ones who put them on the seats. They made us think that we are the ones who put them on the seats.
Yes.
We can take them down like these ways, but we need mobilizing. That's why what is happening this weekend in Cairo is important because a lot of people, it's not 1, 2, 3 people talking about Gaza. It's a lot part of the world. So this is important.
We need to talk also about ICE. Okay.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Which is another change, by the way. Another opportunity to change for change. Okay. And honestly, I would say let's talk about the news and we can comment about it. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. I wanna congratulate and shout out to the city of Los Angeles, the way that they stood up to the ICE agency, even though they sent the Coast Guard to them.
Not the Coast Guard, the National Guard.
The National Guard, sorry. The National Guard was sent to Los Angeles to fight protests, and they didn't back down. They actually, in one of the street, they make ICE retrieve.
And New York is at it now as well, from what I'm hearing.
I haven't seen New York, but the last week the protest in LA was
wild.
That's wild. Like these people didn't back. The National Guard was taking over the city, and even they shot one. They used those fake bullets, and they shot a journalist, a reporter that was covering the news. They were shooting everybody, but the people never backed down.
Get an attorney, don't sign anything, don't consent to being searched, and most of all, don't say a word you do not have to. That is what the former president of the American Immigration Lawyers Association advises you to do if you're approached by immigration officers. Yes, you, as Philip Bump puts it in his latest headline, because it's not just migrants who are vulnerable nowadays. With the Trump administration upending due process, U.S. citizens are vulnerable as well. All right, so Phil, you did a lot of reporting on this. Explain this idea that it's not just if you are here without papers, it is everybody.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, people understand what ICE does as being going out and arresting immigrants who are in the country when they're not allowed to be. That's how we understand it. The challenge is that during the Trump administration, we have seen it be the case that the administration doesn't allow people who have been arrested to prove that they deserve to be arrested, to prove either that they committed some sort of crime or even to prove that they are immigrants who are in the country without the proper status. As such, if you happen to be present in a moment when ICE is conducting a raid, or if they're targeting you specifically, and you are arrested, it may not be the case that you get to plead your argument to a judge, that you get to say, hey, actually, I am a natural-born citizen, or I am a legal permanent resident of the United States. It may be the case instead that you are simply taken away, and that you are, in the case, as we saw in March, that you are sent to a foreign prison in El Salvador. Like the normal standard that we assume apply, particularly to U.S. citizens, simply is no longer reliable in this administration. So I spoke with David Leopold, the gentleman you referred to, and just got an articulation. Here's what everyone should be aware of. Your rights are in the case that you are actually encountered by ICE on the street.
That there some other challenges would come, some other policies would be challenged in other countries and for other powers. Okay, and again, that's where the change is coming from. It's not like just people just to be active in one part of the world and the other part of the world knows nothing, or they're just they are continuing their daily life and not knowing what's going on. Okay, because that's what they are counting on. I've seen. Look, you know what? I've seen. When the so-called Arab Spring. To me, the revolutions that happened against some dictatorships, right? The way that it was dealt with, it was how they were contained. They weren't really happening pretty much at the same time. Okay, they were dealt with one by one, so that it will be contained and it will be dealt with, right? Because if you have a widespread of disruption, right, then how could you control it, no matter how big power you are? You can't really control it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good. Get some disruption in the US, get some disruption in other countries, in other areas, okay, so that those policies can be challenged. And they can be eventually, that's where the change is coming from. Maria, when you said, we brought these people to the seats. Okay, no, they were not brought to the seats. Of course, they made us think that we brought them to the seats, but at least, with those actions, I say, well, maybe people would think that, hey, Ray is calling for a global revolution. Well, pretty much that's what's going to happen.
Disclaimer.
That's how it should be.
But I'm very excited what's going to happen in New York.
Yeah. I'm just really, I'm excited as well, and I really want to watch it and hear the news about it.
Maria, would you go?
Yes, definitely I will go. I didn't hear anything though. They're happening now this week. When?
I saw today.
They're in New York.
I saw today that the people are going in the streets. So let's see. They say basically that New York is also getting ready to, because New York and LA are the biggest cities in the US which are indeed which have a large population of immigrants and also undocumented immigrants, and this is very diverse cities, and the cities depend on these people in many different ways.
Definitely they do.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna resource it is to find out the day, and they ask for the day off is during the week. Find my babysitter and definitely go, because this is historical. Yeah, I would love to be there, and I can send some videos.
Absolutely. And you have to be safe. Okay, one person I think this week, one video that was very epic, and I think we all loved it. And this person, what this person did was definitely, oh my God, this just felt so good. I wish I could have done that. Is this Irish MMA fighter? Does anyone have his name actually?
I'm gonna butcher.
Yeah, come on, just
you guys.
just read about it now.
We are so bad with names.
He's McCoy something, McCoy or something like that. Just a second.
Oh my gosh, guys. Maria, you have the name?
You have a computer in front of you.
I wish I could.
Ray, you had a computer in front of you.
No. We do.
Yeah, just a second.
But we can't use it.
I'm just looking for it. Come on. Yeah, Paddy McCory.
Okay, so that's
Paddy
his
McCory. Yep. Yeah.
So what did he do since you're at it, Ray? What did Paddy do? Paddy is such a funny name.
Well, yes, I agree. Paddy is such a funny name, but the video was so satisfying, right? So it is one of those UFC matches between Paddy McCory from Ireland and the so-called Israeli fighter Shuki Faraj, which is I would question that name. Sorry?
It is a former IDF soldier as well, so that's an important, very important point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So apparently, Paddy, our good old mate Paddy, he kicked the crap out of Shuki. Let's just put it this way. And while he's while he's pinning him on the ground and just giving him a couple of jabs and a couple of punches until the referee had to pull him up of him. He was screaming in his face, "Free Palestine, free Palestine!" And of course, we heard even some of the audience, some of the people who are coming to support Paddy, they were chanting the same.
Gentlemen, after 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action, we go to our judges' scorecards. Your judges score this contest 30-27, 30-27, and 30-26. All in favor of your winner by way of unanimous decision. In the right corner, Paddy.
Right, and on the time of announcing who is the winner, we can see that Paddy is putting the Palestinian flag on his shoulders, and he's lifting the Palestinian flag, and he was celebrating, and he was so proud of himself. I think everyone was so proud of him. It was satisfying, guys. It's highly recommended that you watch it.
Beautiful
I love every
moment.
single second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. He did with all of us dream, punch an IDF soldier in the face and scream "Free Palestine."
Oh my God! Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
yeah.
No. Just wanted to, I just wanted to highlight that, let's say shout out to our Irish friends, because, we see how they are so passionately supporting what is happening, supporting Palestine and supporting the freedom of Palestine. They are already against what Israel is doing. And that's historically, it's something historical. It's not like something that happened overnight, because they feel that, they have been going through the same. And it was caused by the same power. Yeah. And in fact, there are some commonality in terms of the characters who played the role in Ireland and in Palestine, like Arthur Balfour and others. Like historically, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Very, very true. Okay, our next story is actually a very sad story, and these things are never supposed to happen, but unfortunately they do. So we have 17-year-old Sana Youssef from Pakistan, an influencer, beauty and lifestyle influencer with 1.5 million followers. And once again, it's not important that she was known or she had a crazy amount of followers. It's just her story is very, very sad. She was stalked by somebody online and eventually then killed by said person who broke into her home.
Well,
But did
it
I?
didn't broke to her house. This happened in her birthday party. She was celebrating her 17th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And this man that was stalking her was her cousin. So she was
Exactly.
rejecting
I was
this
about to mention
cousin
that.
for a
It's her
long
cousin.
time. And that's what I want to point out. So this man has harassed them for a long time. Therefore, the family knew about this individual, and I think they shouldn't take like a stronger precautions
How
to
do you know the
protect
family
her
know?
because she was dealing with his harassment for months.
But maybe she never told them.
No, I think they knew. I can double check for you, but I think they knew.
Well,
And this guy just showed up to her birthday party and shot her
I
in
don't know
front
if
of
they know,
everyone.
because when sometimes, people don't, it depends on what family you have. You don't necessarily tell them these things because you feel ashamed.
Yeah, in
She's a
that
minor.
community, in that society, I would say yes, that could be a big possibility.
Yeah.
That she wouldn't really tell because it's it's something shameful. And the other possibility is that she might have told, but she maybe the parents didn't really entertain that because come on,
They
he's your
covered up.
cousin, like what no, it's just he's your cousin. It could
Yeah.
be something like he's your cousin, and like there's nothing wrong
Gonna
with
create
that, blah
problems with the
blah.
family. Yeah, that happens a lot.
I wanna say this, right? So we have two different reports actually. We do have where it says it's the cousin, but we do also have that this is someone from online. So I'm a little bit conflicted because I always keep seeing two different way of how they reporting it.
Yes, I saw the same.
Mm.
I saw something.
Yeah.
One news saying that it's a cousin, the other is saying it's a stalker, and in both stories, like if it's the cousin, then I think we have the society and the social constraints that are around that area, and what is actually governing, and how she would, whether she reported it or she at least told her parents or her family or didn't, okay, in the cousin's case. But if that's a stalker, that's even worse, because in this case she may have not mentioned it because all she would think about is like, yeah, just someone online, right? Why do I have to worry about it? Like, like we say about some people like keyboard warriors, that's why they have to worry about this person, right? So either ways, it's just, honestly, it is dangerous. But honestly, what we need to look at here, if that was a stalker, someone who is not really related to her, how did he manage to reach to? And I know the answer. I know if you're gonna answer it, I'm pretty much, I know the answer. How did he manage to reach where she is? Okay, and basically kill her. Okay. The answer would be, of course, she's on live broadcast. She is in the city, like if I would go live broadcast and I'm in somewhere in the city, and of course, many people would recognize the area, right?
Yeah.
A 17-year-old girl, right? I appreciate that, she's an influencer. She is a beauty influencer or fashion or whatever she's doing, even if she's a food reviewer, right? But at least, she has followers. She's, of course, some people, she's honestly, I haven't seen her, but of course, she would be like, a good-looking girl. So of course, there would be so many people after her. So shouldn't the parents be a little bit more careful what their children are doing?
Protective, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to
And we
reach
talked about
to,
this a
right?
few weeks ago as well.
But you guys
Yeah.
Like
say
we need to
that.
be mindful.
How do you protect a 17-year-old? Even if you tell her, as parents, you can only say, be careful, don't do this, don't do that. This is a girl who has 1.5 million followers. She's probably making money with this kind of stuff. I don't know what the situation of the family is, if they're like poor or if they depend on that money that she is making. I mean, it's always easy to say, yeah, you need to be you need to be the parents. You know, sometimes yes, the parents you can talk to a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, but the older they get, it's going to be harder.
Hi, my name is Sana Youssef, and I'm here to tell you how my cousin shot me on my birthday, June 2nd, 2025. People knew me as Asana Youssef on TikTok. I had over 900,000 followers. I had just celebrated my birthday that morning, cutting cake with my family and posting it online. Hours later, I was shot by my cousin, Umar Hayat. My cousin had been harassing me for months. On the evening of my birthday, he came to my home uninvited. When I saw him, I said, "Go away from here. There are cameras all around." Trying to keep things calm, I told him I'd bring water. I turned my back. That's when he pulled out a gun. 2 shots. No warning, no goodbye. He ran away but was arrested within 24 hours. He confessed everything. Now I'm a trending topic. A viral headline. I just turned 17 and had my whole future ahead. If someone's stalking you, don't stay silent. Report it before it's too late. Stay safe. I love you.
Regardless of the
Have you
money,
seen this?
that child is under your protection. You have the
have you seen this
responsibility of
experiment?
protect them.
Sorry, have you seen this video, the experiment that I think it was some parents who called someone and asked them to run this experiment on, just to bring awareness to their children, right? So that person would reach out online to the child, which is a 15 years old or 16 years old, right? As a guy who's also the same age, right? And they would really build a connection together, and then they would agree eventually that they are going to meet. So, you know, that guy would reach out to the girl and tell her that, you know, as if he's like, you know, as in he's the 15 years old boy as well, and tell her, you know, my older brother or something, you know, he would come with I'm coming with my older brother because obviously I cannot drive, and, you know, he's going to take us to this place or this party or whatever, right? And the girl would fall for it, and she would go out and she would get into the van with that guy, and she would be surprised that, of course, there is no 15 years old boy, there's a guy, there's a full grown up man, right? And just to make it even worse, her parents are sitting in the back of the van, and what they would do is that they would try to blindfold her. The parents themselves, they would try to blindfold her, and she would start screaming and saying, you know, like trying to ask for help. And eventually, of course, they would, you know, they would uncover and they would say, see, that's what we are talking about. That's how careful you need to be, because you fell for someone that you've never met, and that's who's online, a supposedly 15 years old guy online, but obviously you can see that you could be easily kidnapped. Now, okay, talking is one thing, but the other thing is, okay, if the family is happy, or let's say if the family is supporting what that girl is doing online, and maybe they are benefiting as well financially, right? Which is, again, nothing wrong with that. At least they should maybe provide some extra protection for her, some more protection, be
Safety,
around
security.
her. If not, exactly, if not them, at least to have someone else, like a brother, a cousin, you know, since we are talking about cousins, a family member, right? But at least
she has almost 2 million people following her. That alone is a red flag that you need to keep it in guard. Yeah,
I think, to be honest, I agree with everything you guys are saying, right? I'm not opposed to any of this. I'm just giving like reasons why sometimes social media is very young. This whole influencer business is still very young, and I do believe that especially parents in other cultures, they are still very new to this, and they don't know how to really manage this and deal with it.
You know, another thing that came to my mind, you know, if you have a stalker, right? Let's put the stalker option, and again, the stalker versus the cousin. Okay, if you have a stalker, all right, the stalker could be like a fan, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
A fan, someone who loves this person, right? Why would that stalker kill, right? Why would she end up being killed by this stalker just because that stalker was rejected?
It's the mentality. It's the mentality. Say, I cannot have you, no one can. So
rejection,
that's why they kill.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, in this case, I'm just leaning towards that this stalker is a cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that cousin is, because basically, look, let's think about it this way, right? Those stalkers, if they are not really related or something, there are so many of them, hundreds, thousands of them, okay, that they would maybe DM or reach out or text that influencer, right? So there are so many of them. But, and they would know, at some point, these people would know that this person is actually a famous person, and they would not really be so interested in me. Okay. Now I know there are psychos, of course, but again, I would really lean towards the cousin's story, because the cousin, and knowing the society, some social conditions or situations there, I would say that it could be more probably it's the cousin. The cousin is capable of doing this, and we heard so many stories, of course, in some certain communities that the cousin is he's after the girl, and the girl doesn't want them. So yeah, okay, well, that's the end for you. So.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to judge the parents of this particular little girl, but it should be taken as a cautionary tale for everybody that have children and they are in social media. There is no privacy. You need to know what they're doing. Talk to your children. Make them trust. If they are uncomfortable, if someone is making them uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form, make them feel comfortable that they can come to you. They tell you what's going on, who is texting them, who is telling them what. The communication with your children is the biggest protection tool that you have. Yeah. They need to, whoever was, if it was a stalker, was the cousin, whoever it was, your child should have that peace in mind. They can come to you and tell you, look what they're texting me, without receiving any judgment. We need to be on top of it. I mean, I'm a helicopter mom, and I pray to God that I'm able to protect her as much as I can. But Ness is right. You cannot be on top of them 24/7. So the best tool that you have is educate them to speak up. Whoever it is, they should speak up.
I don't blame the parents who did this experiment that Ray was talking about. I'm sorry, I would do, because unfortunately, and this is the whole world, right? This is a very expensive lesson that I learned as well. If people are not directly affected, they don't care.
It's scary smart.
Yeah.
Just make my daughter watch SVU. She can't know what's going on. Thanks to Olivia Benson, my daughter is very well.
I love Olivia. Okay, so we gotta talk about the biggest distraction this week, and that was the Elon and Trump breakup. What a great show! What
a circus, bro!
What an amazing show! Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I only wanted to say the beef, when the beef is public, that it's only for distraction purposes.
The alliance between the world's richest man and the world's most powerful, Donald Trump, is imploding right now in real time before our very eyes. After days of Musk trashing Donald Trump's signature domestic policy, his big ugly bill, as Elon Musk called it, Trump finally broke his silence. Watch.
Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate. He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next.
Musk, who's now a former special government employee, is doing just that. He is lashing out, reminding his 220 million followers on the platform he owns, X, of his potentially decisive $277 million political gift to Donald Trump. He writes this, quote, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Democrats would control the House and Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate." It went on and on and on. Trump even threatened to cancel Musk's billions of dollars worth of contracts, to which Musk fired back, accusing Donald Trump of, wait for it, covering up his role in the Epstein files. Yes, Elon Musk went there. As sordid as this all is, and it gets worse, Why does any of this matter when the most powerful person in our government fights with the richest person in the world? We, as a public, get to peer deep inside the most corrupt and superficial alliance in American political history. And as they claw and strike rhetorically at one another, they affirm our deepest concerns and suspicions. Trump confirms that Musk was always only in it to enrich his companies, and Musk confirms that Trump was always for sale.
I have a concern. In fact, not a concern, but a question.
Yeah.
Right? A question that just came to my mind now, and honestly speaking, I'm really worried. Who kept the friends, after the breakup?
Elon, Trump. Very smooth, right? Very smooth.
That was good. That was a good one.
Very good, very good.
That was a good one. So I want to say, I think Trump kept some, but then Elon also kept the tech freaks. So they kind of, I think they divided it 50-50.
I mean, they're both
Israel
rich,
kept all
right?
their friends.
And it's, of course.
It was a third party.
So what I found very interesting about this, to be honest, that nobody talks about. So this other guy that I hate so much, one of the people that I really, really, really dislike a lot is Bill Gates, and he entered the chat. And Bill Gates basically called Elon Musk out, and he said the world richest man killed the world's poorest children because he shut down the Agency for International Development, and they were like basically giving aid and feeding children across the world, very poor children. He thought that it's a waste of money, so he shut it down. And this is very interesting because there was a quote that from Elon also that they brought into this, when Elon said the fundamental problem of the Western society is empathy. And this is everything is so hypocritical about what I said just now, because first of all, Bill Gates, to even have a comment like this, somebody who goes around in other people's countries and vaccinates people with his vaccine, telling them that he's helping them when he's making them infertile and making them sick, is not somebody who should actually speak on Elon. And I'm not defending Elon whatsoever here. I found this statement actually more interesting than this whole kindergarten charade that Trump and Elon put on Twitter, where they accused each other of different things. Elon said that what's his name is in the Epstein files, and that's why they were not released. Like, we all didn't know that. And one thing that we also talked about on this podcast here a couple of months ago, when people say that Trump fired Elon, I'm sorry, but the kind of job or the kind of position he had was only for 120 days. So all the charade of, oh, he was fired and blah, 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 this is all like, whatever.
Well, honestly speaking, like I was looking at their tweets, if we can still call them tweets, since the whole thing is called X now. Yeah. So, tweets. And I was like, pretty much, yeah. And I was like, okay, all right, yeah, I can read this. Oh, come on, that's not important. And then the other one would respond and would be like, oh, come on, that's silly. Like, when are you guys gonna talk about the juicy stuff? Like, who's got fake hair, who's got like, start shaming each other personally.
Oh my God. Well, if they're gonna do this, Elon is gonna win probably.
Well, I'm giving some ideas here, right? I'm just inspiring them.
Oh my God. Sure.
That'd be fun to watch.
Crazy. Okay, so yeah, this is all like a lot of like, when new laws have to come in place, when other things are being committed that people shouldn't pay attention to, this is when we get such a great display of, I don't even know what you want to call this.
I think people have got bored of watching the Housewives of Beverly Hills or something, so now they wanted something that like a higher dose of these shows. So here comes Trump and Elon. Go ahead, guys. You're rocking.
This is the Husbands of the White House. They should have a reality show about that. Maybe then we can watch it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, see,
we've got it.
But I think, but they already had problems prior, so it's whatever. It's just like very lame, very, very lame. Okay, let's move on to Gaza. We're gonna skip the homeless there. We can come back to it next week. We're gonna talk about Gaza. What happened in Gaza this week? What happened, Maria?
Maria?
Ray, this is you people. So there's a lot going on in Gaza. The distribution food that they're doing there are becoming like a bait for people. In several days, people walk to these distributions aids, and they all have been shot. That, for example, yesterday alone, 82 people were shot when they were going looking for food. So, and people on the ground, I've been talking to them. They describe it as they are no humanitarian aid. They are mercenaries. They're not receiving them with aid. They're called. These people are being called. They come to the arrestation, and we're going to provide food. And when they go, people work for hours to get to this food distribution, and they're receiving with bullets.
اسمع يا عم اسمع يا عم استنى ما سمعناكيش طلع في حدا جنبك
ما تبكي طموها
هذه النار ربنا جاب البنت طلعها من بينه عشان انتوا تصحصحوا تخلصوا عنا الحرب. هي مش ورد الأساسية اللي كانت، لكن إن شاء الله تدريجيا وشوية شوية هنرجعها لورد الأساسية. كانت ورد لسانها فلت تتكلم إيش ما بدها، هينها لقيت نترجعها ترجع عشان تتكلم وتتفاعل معنا. تكون هذه المعجزة الربانية اللي ربنا جابها ويشوفها العالم عشان ينتبه إنه أطفال فلسطين بتنحرق من جهة من دولة عظمى ذات سيادة ضخمة من أقوى دول العالم بتحرق في شعب غزة.
So that was going on in Gaza.
And we have also the occupation admitting to arm ISIS affiliated groups, and basically they're talking specifically about one guy, Yasser Abu Shabab, I think is his name. And he is responsible for all the mass looting of the food and all of this, but he's not doing this because he wants to do it. He's doing this because he's getting actually paid to do so by the occupation. And that's when they're blaming Hamas for stealing all the aid and stealing all the food. And this is now all being exposed. And there is actually exposés who are which are stating that the humanitarian foundation that was founded by the US and by the occupation was founded for specifically this reason. And this is not since now. This has been going on for decades. Yeah.
And we have Netanyahu with audacity to say that, admitting what they're doing and saying like we're using all channels to destroy Hamas. The audacity of this man is this. He has no shame, bro.
Proven ties to ISIS, which have some gangs roaming in the Sinai Peninsula, southwest of the Gaza Strip. He, on the one hand, the idea supposedly was to prevent looting of humanitarian aid, both the trucks and the distribution. Yet there's no evidence that this gang, this criminal gang, this anti-Hamas gang, have done anything positive in that direction. One last observation on this: by arming this, Israel is by arming this gang, clan, militia, call it what you want. They're all euphemisms. Israel is basically admitting that it failed after 20 months to get rid of Hamas. More importantly, it attests to the fact that Israel has, for the last 20 months, persistently refused to engage in any post-war Gaza talks. Say the inter-Arab force that would come in and replace Hamas. That was offered in late 2023, several times throughout 2024. So I really don't understand why Israel is doing this, and I certainly don't understand why a prime minister would be standing boasting about it. What a great strategic idea it is to arm some kind of criminal gang.
And you can tell now by the this tactic of having some mercenaries, under the cover of distributing food and aid, right? It shows that okay, so we didn't manage to kill all the civilians in Gaza. Okay, here's another creative way of doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Using food as bait, basically.
Yes. Using the
they did that
thing.
before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did that
I
before.
remember
But
the
still,
flower massacre. The flower massacre that happened last year was the same.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay,
No,
but this time it's like it's in a more more straightforward. Like, let's say it's just a what do you call it? At zero distance this time. The flower massacre, for example, it wasn't zero distance. Now it is zero distance. People are coming by themselves, right? Thinking that yes, okay, it's a safe place, and all of a sudden, get a bullet in the head or something.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? So they're just being creative, as if they are not creative enough with all what they're doing now.
It's disgustingly creative. It's actually sick.
Yes. And again, like deploying ISIS as affiliated people, personnel, right? That's to everyone who keeps talking about ISIS, right? You can see that ISIS is always their mission is to attack and to hurt and to damage only not the Israel or the West. No, it's Muslims and of course the native residents of their countries, like either it's Syria, Palestine, or Egypt, or anywhere, wherever they do their operations, right?
Crazy. Literally crazy.
Except for Israel.
Of course. Of course. So yeah, let's close out with the elephant.
Let's talk about soup.
God. All right. Ness.
Yeah.
The mic
Ness is all yours.
That's my friend. So I want to say, right? So about 10 years ago, I came across this elephant and it seemed so surreal. Like, no, this can't be. This elephant is like taking a brush and literally drawing a flower. How? It's impossible. And it was like, there was like this thing called Justin TV back then, which became Twitch now. And that's where the elephant was. And I fell in love with this elephant, A, because I love elephants, and B, because this is really special, right? So Maria sent me this video this week, and then I was like, oh my God, the elephant is back. It really exists. It wasn't a dream. So the elephant is here and in Thailand. I mean, not here, but it's in Thailand in a zoo. And it can draw. It was bullied by other elephants, so they had to take it out from the area where the other elephants were, and they give it its own designated area so the elephant can draw. But every story obviously has a backstory, and when you look deeper into it, it's actually a little bit sad. So in order for this elephant to become what it became and to do what she does, they have to be trained. They have to be removed from their mother, and they have to have their calves tied up for like 24 hours. and they get like somebody to train them, and the training is, I don't know, like it didn't sound really too nice. This sounds crazy to me. Like, so basically they were told what to draw by somebody just like pulling their ear basically to the direction how they should, you know, put like the brush and what they should take. And basically there's a lot of ear pulling involved and a lot of tying up and isolation involved. And this is something that is apparently a common thing. So I'm not too sure how many elephants can really draw. They said that a lot of animal rights organizations are going against it because they feel like this is obviously abuse. But these people who are doing this particular thing called Fajr is something where they say the elephants were born with this very special talent. And they're selling the pictures.
Yeah, well, I wanted to touch on this selling the pictures part. So there's this website, and I was looking at it, and I can see that, you know, basically I can see the paintings, you know, they're offered for $490, $790. Well, $790 is a Merry Christmas or a custom named Christmas painting, right? And basically, you know, the offer includes, right, add the name of your choice. All profits benefit our elephants, of course. Yeah, I believe that. Videos and photos of your painting being made, that's an option. So basically, and that's like it's not you know, there are other options, there are other inclusions in this offer. $790 for a painting by elephant. Right now, honestly, like, is it? Look, I heard what you said, Ness, but is it real?
Yeah,
this
it's
elephant
really
is
real.
like doing it and writing the name of the person, or
Yeah,
No, well, I don't know.
when I found it, I said like, this must be another AI bullshit. So I Google it and I said like, no, it's real. He actually painting. You can see all YouTube videos of Suda painting. So I sent it to Ness. Look at this. and
May I?
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
I was
is
going
it
to
only
ask how
about
you
painting,
guys
but can they do some
reacted.
other things?
No, well, I hope not. What else could they do? No, they should say to painting, because everything else would be wild. What do you mean? Like, what could they do?
No, look, you know, I can see the elephant is painting, right?
Yeah.
Can they be trained to do some 3D modeling, some architecture, some
my
because
God.
Oh my God, leave the elephant alone.
Think about posting a job ad for an elephant or any other animal can do structural detailing and some engineering stuff.
No. You don't have to worry
I'm
about
actually,
your job.
in fact, I'm hiring.
Ray is gonna be replaced by
I'm
Suda.
going to the zoo
the
tomorrow.
next project.
I'm going to the zoo tomorrow to conduct some interviews there.
Job is not only threatened by immigrants, also by elephants, guys.
See, Maria, you complained a couple of weeks ago the Spanish people do all the job that nobody wants.
No, the elephant is gonna take over.
Elephants are taking over.
Wait,
fact,
don't make fun of my elephant.
Look, I'm not making fun, but honestly speaking, I'm thinking about it as a very good marketing material, right? It's a very good marketing material.
It is.
Like, okay, this has been done by elephants, and you know, like some elephant enthusiast or elephant lover like you would be so excited about, you know, buying some of that artwork, right? So honestly speaking, I'm just thinking about it like, okay, that's what I asked. Like, is it real? Because, wow.
But what did you think when you saw it?
I thought that okay, that's nonsense. It's something. It is a marketing material, especially when I saw on this website. It's Elephant Art Online, right? That's what the website does, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I felt like, well, I don't know. It feels like, hey, yeah, it's done by an elephant, and everyone would be like, oh, that's cute, let's buy it, you know? And you can imagine the amount of money that you can make out of it. That's why I was thinking about, you know, like growing my own business by hiring some elephants here who can do some similar stuff.
Oh, the scam jokes, bro.
I'm telling you, I'm just gonna Yeah, I'm just gonna do some interviews. at the
It's
zoo
better to hang
tomorrow.
out with elephants than with human beings. I'm
But
telling you.
just to end in a positive note, elephants are well known to be sensitive, family-oriented animals. They're very close.
I'm not against
you
that.
can see the emotion. Yeah,
I'm not
because you
against
joke
that.
about
I'm not
taking
against that. I
the
appreciate it.
jobs.
Well, they're already painting stuff and they're selling their artwork, right? Why don't we just get them into the workforce?
Well, you can
Just
try.
saying.
I mean, you can they give you the duty. You can call in Thailand and say, "Listen, I'm trying to outsource here."
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, right? Maybe they could do a better job than humans.
But how are you going to say that to a client? Listen, I'm gonna speak to my elephant. I'm gonna make you do it again.
What is funny is that you enable this kind of comment. Ness. That's what I find.
But imagine you speak to your client and say, "Yeah, I'm sorry, the elephant is gonna do it tomorrow because it went home already. It needs to eat. Tomorrow 8 o'clock, it will come back to work."
Exactly. The elephant is on 7 hours break.
You can't
Why?
ignore the elephant shit.
It's
all
lunch
over
break,
the
mate. It's lunch break. Well,
And then your client is first they're gonna call the mental facility people on you. Like, what is this guy talking about? What do you mean, elephant?
well, come and see for yourself, right? It's just sitting next to me, like here, the desk behind me. Yeah, I need to reconsider.
I roll my eyes so
rearranging
high my head hurts.
Oh, God. Maria,
Yeah,
you
I
have
can
no
see that.
sense of humor, bro.
No bad humor.
This is not
Let's
bad
go.
humor. Oh my God. Okay, guys, that's it because Maria
All right.
is in a hurry, apparently. Okay, complain
No,
in the comments.
she's not in a hurry. Her head hurts because she's been rolling her eyes for like half an hour now since I started talking.
About thinking.
You rolled your half an hour. Okay.
Well, that's what she does best.
It's a sport for me now.
Did somebody tell you that this is rude?
Rolling eyes?
To roll your eyes at people.
Probably someone at some point.
Well, I guess you don't.
My mom
No,
probably.
she's just
Okay, I'm just making sure that you don't care. Okay. So thank you guys for
Rolling
tuning in.
my eyes again.
all right.
Okay, do you want to give them one goodbye eye roll? Make it a special one. Make it a good one.
No, not to the viewers, no. Kisses and thank you for everything. Just to you too.
To us. Well, I'm gonna choose other friends then,
and,
Maria.
And when I roll up my eyes at her, she would be, "Don't roll your eyes at me."
Okay. Do you also
She's the
want
one
to
who has the
roll
right.
your eyes at her so that we can have peace in the Middle East?
No, I don't. Well, all right. There you go.
You don't?
You did
Done.
it?
You
Let me
did?
see. I didn't
Yes,
see it.
I just did.
No, do it again. Do it again.
I didn't see it. You
Done.
did it? You don't do it right. Let
No,
me
you
show
don't do
later.
it right.
I didn't
Come
do it right.
closer.
Go ahead. You do it yourself.
Okay, training on eye rolling coming next episode.
Oh my God.
Oh, by the way, the psychological test, we didn't do it today because it was a busy week, but we're gonna do it next week. So I haven't forgotten about it.
She's
did
so
it
sure
again.
about it. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, she's so sure
No, we
about
do.
it.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you guys. Peace out. Next week we'll be
See you,
back.
everyone.